Valleycats.com and the Cats Corner blog. Evan Valenti alongside the second baseman for the Tri-City Valleycats, Austin Elkins. And Austin, let's go back to draft day. What was it like getting your name called early on in the draft?
Oh, it was a great feeling. It was good for me and my family. It was definitely a relief, and it was really exciting. It was a great day, and I was just happy a great team like the Astros was able to pick me up, and to be here. It kind of hasn't kicked in yet, but I'm sure eventually it will. But it's been exciting, and I've been so busy with everything that I think that's why it's taken a while to kick in.
Coming to the Astros, a couple of historic second basemen, along with Craig Biggio being the most famous of them, but Jose Altuve now, former Tri-City Valleycat, has really emerged as the starting second baseman for the Houston Astros. What does that mean to you as a guy coming in at second base that this organization has had some production at second?
Well, both those guys are great guys and great players, and I can learn a lot from both of those guys and the way they play the game and then the way they conduct themselves off the field. And so just to have them as kind of the role models of who I should imitate, in a sense, is good for me to look up to, and I can definitely learn a lot from them.
Now it seems like the chemistry here is so far in the early going. It's only been 10, 9, 12 games so far here on the season. The chemistry of this team is very good. It seems like to me, from what I've been seeing, that you and Andrew Applin have something special going on between you two guys. Typically, you guys bat 2 and 3 of the order, or 1 and 2, or pretty close to the top. What's the deal between you and Andrew? There's been some kind of click between you two?
Well, yeah, he's a great guy, and we get along well. He gives me a hard time about swinging at the first pitch because if I get out, then that means he usually has to take 1 or 2, and he kind of jabs at me for that. But for the most part, we've been doing really well together. I think every game that we've been in the lineup together, we've gotten a hit, and then the games that we haven't been in the lineup together, we've I think both gone over. So our joke is kind of that I'm the straw to his drink, and that whole thing. I'm the sugar to his sweet tea, that kind of thing. But he's a great guy and a good teammate.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but in every game so far you've played, you've reached base successfully, whether it be a hit or a walk. The only time you haven't collected a hit, you actually went 0 for 4 with a walk. What does it mean to have early success here in the New York Penn League?
Well, it's great. It definitely helps with confidence and just to be able to go out there and help the team by getting on base, whether it's by getting a hit or reaching on a walk. It's kind of all the same if you're on base and scoring runs and helping the team. So,
you guys are on a ridiculous streak right now, 7 in a row. Have blown out some teams. You've had some nail biters. Great pitching, great hitting. You actually seem to be putting it all together here. What's the key for your success moving forward?
Well, I think that one of the best compliments you can give a team is that they're just winners, and we've been able to find ways to win. I think we've had a couple games where we've scored more runs than we've had hits, and that's just we're taking advantage of the other team's mistakes, and then situational hitting and 2-out hitting with runners in scoring position has all been great for the most part.
You guys have had a couple of 8th-inning rallies so far here at the Joe, especially the last couple of days. Last night, of course, being one of them. What's the key to you guys' clutch gene so far this season?
Well, I think it's just the ability to grind out at bats. We've struggled early on in a couple games, and I think that Stubby has been very encouraging throughout games and allowed us to kind of stick with the same approach, and we've been able to get it at the end and be able to get a few hits and a few runs at the end of games, which has been really important for this team and important for getting wins.
How important is it to you knowing that your pitching staff, regardless whoever comes out, can shut down the opposition and keep you guys in the game from start to finish?
Well, I think that's one of the things that Astros as an organization have worked on is getting more pitching, and I think that that's definitely evident in our pitching because we have a phenomenal pitching staff, and from Burcher to West to Rogers, all those guys can come in and shut a team down, and we have so many more that have just done great so far, and it's good to play behind them because they're going to be throwing strikes, and so that's easy for a defense because every pitch you could get some action, and they've done a great job of just competing out there on the mound.
You and Andrew have done, I think, a great job so far this season of creating what Stubby calls havoc on the base path. It seems like whenever you or Andrew or even Joe Sclafani get on, you guys do some dancing around the bases, and it seems like every pitcher pays a lot of attention to you both. How advantageous is that for you guys, not only in the base paths but also in the batter's box?
Well, I think it's really key for our team because it allows the guys behind myself and Sclafani and Applin to get more fastballs because they're worried about guys stealing on them. And I think Applin has done, a fantastic job of really stealing bases. And Joe and I, we both don't have probably as many stolen bases as Applin combined, but I think we've done a good job as far as, making the pitchers worry about us, and it's allowed some of our hitters to take advantage of that in the batter's box.
We'll get you on to this last question. I know you've told it a bunch of times already this week, but explain to the fans listening and watching online what the story of your nickname Catfish, what's behind this story?
Well, when I was 4 years old, I went fishing. I had my little Mickey Mouse fishing pole, and I went with my best friend, and I caught a little bitty perch, and the only fish I knew at the time was a catfish. And so I went home, and my papa, who actually passed away this past Easter, he gave me the nickname Catfish because I came home and he was like, "How was fishing today?" And I told him I caught a catfish this big, and he was like, "How big was it?" And I was like, "I caught a catfish this big." And that's one of the he's called me Catfish ever since, and it's kind of stuck with my family. Every one of them calls me Catfish, and then growing up just playing baseball, people heard them calling me Catfish, so they started calling me Catfish. And then I got here and I wasn't sure how I was going to keep it going, so I just introduced myself as Austin, and then I think someone in the media found out about it, and I guess from now on it's going to be Catfish Elkins. So I'm excited just to kind of have my pawpaws having a living legacy, and me being called Catfish is really cool.
Yeah, today marks today officially on the video board here at the Joe. It will no longer be Austin Elkins, it will be Catfish Elkins out on the board. Evan Valenti alongside Austin Catfish Elkins, second base from the Valleycats. Next time here on Cats Conversation. We'll see what we have next time here on TCValleycats.com and the Cats Corner blog on Cats Corner.